Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's your daily tarot reading. And choose the stone that draws you, that really, you've got a hunch you should pick, but you can always listen to more than one. And we will do a golden nugget card at the end for further clarification on your reading. So this reading can be today, it can be for this week. It's good to ask Source for answers and what kind of reading this should be. Okay, so for those of you who chose the green stone, we have 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. So all minor arcana, probably not a big deal. And especially you like to hear that when you see the imagery on that card, right? But no, it's probably just, it just kind of things through your day or things through this time of the week. You know, the 10 of Swords is, feeling like, something that has made you feel a little low, has made you feel maybe they're painful thoughts that you're having. Maybe they're something somebody said to you or about you or just, yeah, you know what? It can even be, you're watching something on television, you're watching something on YouTube or wherever, and a lot of the messages are negative and you don't like that, it kind of gets you. But the 10 of Swords comes up to say, you don't need to do that. You don't need to let yourself be brought low by that kind of thing. The 10 of Swords can also be, because, it's good to have a warning, isn't it? Then we know, to protect ourselves. And not that an idea has this much power in our life, but once in a while we let it in, and that's just what we do. But the 10 of Swords can also be about being a bit of a martyr, putting your own needs last, sacrificing yourself. Maybe your thoughts, the self-talk you have going on lately hasn't been very nice. Maybe it's been more like, you got to do this, and why didn't you do that? And maybe it's been more critical, maybe more harsh. That can be the 10 of Swords. So Spirit brings this kind of card up when Spirit is saying, take a peek at this, take a look at this, because Spirit doesn't want us to have that kind of pain. Even if it is minor arcana, it's momentary, it's not a huge deal. Spirit really loves to use these kinds of readings to call our attention to something we're accepting that we really don't need to accept. And so there might be something you put an end to. And the 5 of Swords is definitely that. It is definitely taking the beliefs, the learning, taking it, and that's it. You know what I mean? You're kind of done with the rest. You're done with whatever's harmful to you, whether that's your own thoughts or what other people are saying or other kinds of information coming in. Because these swords are a lot of times thoughts, they're words, they can be writing, they can be plans, it's intellectual kinds of things. Analyses. You may be cutting away a certain way of looking at something too and just saying, that doesn't serve me. So you might be able to cut something away before you have, kind of a low spot in your day. The 6 of Cups is nostalgia. I mean, that's a pleasant card. It can be nostalgia. It can be if there are kids in your life. It might be nice to spend a little time with them or just even observing the carefree nature of childhood, allowing your own inner child to kind of come out and think about what cups are upright, what would be fun, what would be emotionally lovely. Those cups are upright and they're filled with flowers. So it can even be that, let's just treat ourselves a little bit like we are still a child. Think of yourself as a little kiddo and how cute you were. And if you met yourself today in the park, what would you want for that little boy or girl? That kind of thing. Sometimes that's a very wonderful question to ask. And Spirit loves us so much, always trying to remind us of about how loved we are, actually. So sometimes we get up in our head, and we get to looking at things the way some other folks, a lot of other folks, maybe society in general, looks at things, and sometimes that's not good, you know, not necessarily the way Source looks at things. So I think you have a choice here today. We can go this way, and we can cut away anything that's painful. Okay, for those of you who chose the pink heart, we have, you know, these readings are so good for that. You know, setting our intention early, asking Source for the help we need, going ahead and doing that, and then later we see how it worked out. So we have Minor Arcana again, with the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords. And so probably not any big kind of deal, but there's some things you're moving along just beautifully with this Eight of Wands, and maybe it feels a little busy. There might be some things you're moving forward, and it's all happening in a logical way, in a way that complements each other, your different goals. So I like that Eight of Wands, because sometimes I feel like it comes out when maybe you're feeling like, oh, I have to remember this, and oh yes, I have to call this person, I have to email about that, I have to do this, and this, or I have to, you know, organize that, or, you know, these are the things I need to do today, or by the end of the week, and you're not aware how amazing you are. You know, you're not aware that, my God, you're pulling it all off, and you're moving things forward in a way, and no, you can't do everything at once, and you're avoiding that Ten of Wands trap. You can't do everything at once, but you are kind of moving back and forth between different concerns or different goals or different priorities, and doing it in just the right way, you know, in just the right way. Maybe this issue needs a little more attention one day, and that issue needs a little more attention, but you know what? They're all moving forward in an orderly, concerted way. You've got the Knight of Cups. That can be you feeling like you want to make a good impression on someone. It can be somebody wanting to make a good impression on you. But it can also be a positive message that's brought to you if you would receive it. And that can be from someone who's bringing a positive message to you, a message that makes you feel good. Or it can be from your higher self. But this positive message coming in, it can be growing in, oh goodness, in some sort of emotionally fulfilling direction. You know, some kind of goal that you have. You know, like people say, whoops, I did get interrupted. I was just saying, you know how people say about this card, you know how people say, I am trying to be kinder to myself, or I am trying to enjoy life more, or trying to think of my blessings, think of how I can bless others. You know, how people, they feel like they go through phases where they do want to improve their emotional experience. They want to improve their lives. And so this Knight of Cups could represent something like that you are working on. And it's coming right along. You know, it's not complete, you're not completely there, but it's coming right along. That can also be a goal that's halfway to completion. So we've got a lot of really good things happening with these cards. It's a very nice reading. Okay, and for those of you who chose the blue Lapis Lazuli, we have, the Fool, our first major arcana. We have the Four of Coins, and we have the Six of Wands. So the Fool card is all about new beginnings. It's just all about feeling like there is something new coming up in you, and the sense of maybe adventure, maybe feeling like you're ready for something new. The Fool can also be, you've already begun, you know, you've already begun on something new in some area of your life. And the Fool, in the journey of the Fool, in that story, the Fool comes up either as the young person ready to leave and take on the world, and maybe a little naive and very hopeful and energetic, taking a risk. Or it can be, it comes up in that story much later on where the person comes back to a new beginning, older and wiser, but ready yet for another new beginning in their lives. And this one will be different. This one will, but yet there's still that element of risk and that element of maybe excitement. But when you feel the powerful energy of the Fool, it's good to go with it. A lot of times we have trouble taking the leap. I always think this card, you know, he's got his little pet dog. He's got a little dog to help him have courage. You know, sometimes we need a little help. And certainly it brings victory. I think there might be something, and it may not be something huge that other people could point to. It may be something in your life that is really on your mind. There could be a choice you have between taking that new beginning and being very self-protective. You know, oh, I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to upset my security. I want to keep things the way they are, the Four of Coins person would say. I have things going for me. I want to keep things the way they are. Now, the victory, though, of the Six of Wands is he's definitely celebrating a victory of some new thing. He's conquered something new. So I think there's a message in these cards to consider a new beginning, a new start in something, or something brand new coming into your life. Even if it's rising up from within you, you know, something new that will actually bring victory. So there we go. Those are wonderful cards. Okay, if anybody would like to get a little more clarification, we have the Golden Nugget card, which is the Lover's card. Okay, so if any of you were wondering anything about a relationship, a love relationship, well, that Lover's card I feel like is always a good sign. It's saying that if you're in a loving relationship, you might have some nice moments coming in, some new sense of love coming in. If you're not in a relationship, it may be time to think about that, especially if you got this with the last reading we just did with the Fool card. So the Lover's card a lot of times is Spirit saying you deserve love. Spirit wanting to bring more love into your life. And this can be a spiritual love, though, too. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. But Spirit definitely showing love to you. Just as a lover would, you know, as a lover would, that rosy first blush where the other person is absolutely perfect and can do no wrong. You know, that kind of love. Spirit has a love for you like that. So I think that card can mean a lot of things, but it's a very powerful card. And love is, you know, it is the creative force of the universe. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.